And now it's very close running with the four of us. Minardi, Jordan. Who is gonna come out ahead here? Late braking in the bus stop and then, oh! Welcome to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps and round 7 of our 1991 Formula 1 season in Automobilista 2. Now, this event was where one of the most chaotic silly seasons as well as one of the greatest Formula 1 career of all time started. Or not exactly here, to be honest. Bertrand Gachot, the driver of the number 32 Jordan, was imprisoned for illegally using pepper spray on a taxi driver who, according to Gachot, threatened him after a minor accident in traffic in London. As a result, the Jordan team was missing a driver for one of their cars for this race. Enter Willy Weber, the manager of Michael Schumacher, who persuaded team boss Eddie Jordan to offer that seat to Schumacher, who allegedly knew this track like the back of his hand. Which, as it turns out, was a lie. Still, no one noticed at the time as Schumacher put the car to an impressive 7th on the grid, 4 spots ahead of his much more experienced teammate Andrea De Cesaris. Unfortunately, Michael didn't complete the race when he retired because of the clutch on the first lap of the race. Still, his performance was impressive enough to grant him more than one offer for the remainder of the season, triggering some mid-season driver changes up and down the grid. But more on that next episode. For now, let's focus on this race, which was won by Ayrton Senna as Mansell's title push took a big hit with the DNF due to an electrical issue. Our guy Pierluigi Martini wasn't much luckier either though. He was classified 12th after retiring 2 laps from the end with a gearbox failure while he was running in P6, about to score another point result for Minardi. Again, we tried to achieve what was not to be for Minardi by aiming for exactly that P6, as this track should suit our car rather well. And again, our efforts are aided by Martini qualifying 9th for this race with new boy Schumacher in P13. Further down, Cruyat makes it 2 starts in a row for the one-car Font Metal team. And now, without further ado, let's go racing at Spa-Francorchamps. And here we are on the grid, just behind our teammate Gianni Morbidelli. Awesome qualifying for Minardi. Can we convert it to a good result? And it's a sluggish start there off the line as the start-finish straight back in the day very, very tight in Spa. We move past our teammate up to P8, and now the first run through Eau Rouge and Radignan coming up. Almost possible flat out in these cars. Maybe once they are lighter it will actually be flat out. Over 200 liters of fuel on board as we're watching our teammate in my left hand rear mirror, who was having a little look, backs out of it and stays behind for the moment. But he was hassling me still on that opening lap as I'm already losing to Jean Lazy ahead of me. And this is now a nice opportunity to try something new, as I want to try a bit of a different style of commentary for this, as I will now go silent and only say something when I think I have something to say and not just blatantly fill the air, so you can enjoy the V12 sound of this car. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new style of commentary, and I'll see what I do in the future. Now we jump ahead in time to lap 3. The situation with Morbidelli has calmed down a little bit. But then this happened. And I feel like I owe an explanation to you on what happened there. But the truth is, I do not have a clue either. I think it was just my mind blanking out, and then I went too fast, too early on the throttle in Pouhon, and just went off the road. However, this may make this race a lot more interesting, because it was already starting to get a bit dull, with Morbidelli dropping back a bit, and Alesi, of course, running away with it. So now we are in a battle with a multitude of cars. The first one of those is Marc Blondel in the Brabham, and again, I'll leave you to enjoy the on-track battles that we are about to face over the next few laps. So, after clearing Blondel and the two Dalaras, we were up to P13, and just behind another very interesting group of cars there. And the next car on the road actually is Michael Schumacher. Very interesting. We pass the German as he had a poor exit out of the bus stop chicane. So we say thank you very much and proceed after the next few cars, which include Andrea De Cesaris, the second Jordan, who just made it past the other cars that he was losing time behind him, and this is Stefano Modena in the Tyrrell just ahead, and Thierry Boutsen, one further car ahead in the Ligier. And we were getting a good run through Rouge and Radion, and then enter the straight line speed of this Minardi. That was quite the easy move. And now we were just 2 positions further down than we were compared ahead of us spin, or no, it was not a spin, of the off-track excursion in Pouon. And just behind Morbidelli and the Cesarisme now. There you can already see them as we are trying to chase them down in lap 12, just past the halfway point of this ring. And as you can see, they're having quite the interesting battle of their own. The Cesaris tried it against Morbidelli into Lecombe there, and they are losing time in that battle, and that is very crucial. Have you just seen that behind us? Left-hand mirror. Another green car. So Michael Schumacher also made it past Modena and Boutsen, and is now in pursuit of us and the 2 cars ahead as well. So this could yet be a very interesting 4-way fight between both Minardis and both Jordans. Oh, and the Cesaris is trying it against Morbidelli, the very unusual spot there, and they even make contact. So we're just behind them. This could be a mega opportunity, either for us, but also for Michael Schumacher. Just out of Blanchimont, we kind of have to back out of this, and now it's very close running with the 4 of us. Minardi Jordan, who is gonna come out ahead here? Late braking in the bus stop, and then, oh dear! Michael Schumacher! Oh, and look at me! Flipping him off like a complete idiot, like he could see me. But oh dear, yeah, I was pretty mad with this one. And I think justifiably so. We will look at a replay, don't worry. But my biggest worry now had to be that A, I'm back down in P16. But B, look at it, as we are trying to go in a straight line, the steering is bent. I have some suspension issue, and that is not helping our ambitions to score points here today either. I think that one is over now. We made contact with the wall, suspension is bent, probably some aero damage as well. Yeah, look at that. We're not even as fast in a straight line because presumably we have some drag now due to some aero issue. This is happens very often in these kinds of cars. In Automobilista, when you have aero damage, you lose straight line speed because all of a sudden you have some sort of drag. But this is now the interesting one. Let's look at the situation between myself and Michael Schumacher. Schumacher is the car at the very end. He's looking for a move into bus stop, but he is not really alongside. Look at that. He drops behind me, and then that is clumsy. That is clumsy, and in my opinion, 100% on Michael Schumacher. That was never a move. That was never on. This is from his onboard. Look at that. He was even behind me, and then he just pulls alongside, if you can even call it that. Hits my left rear wheel and spins me around. Immediately, a rivalry is born between Pierluigi Martini and the Michael, which is kind of funny. Nevertheless, I was trying to make the best out of it. I even gained a position because of some retirement. But then, true Tony Hawk style, I grind on that curb there and lose position to Eric Bernard and the Lotus of Mika Häkkinen, and it was still not over. Behind me now is a Brabham, and yeah, that was clumsy and all on me. As I have seen, I even watched the mirror. I have seen that he was alongside, and still I decided to turn in. Yeah, it's gone from bad to worse now. P18, and this is just... It's not even about damage limitation anymore, it's just trying to bring the car home now. And it was still getting worse. Yeah, tried to brake very late there, defending from Herbert and the March that is now behind me. Brake too late, didn't get the car around, and yeah, opened the inside for Herbert to slip through. But then, it's not all bad news. Someone was having it even worse than I did, and this is the Dallara of Emanuele Pirro, who again is facing the wrong way. I think this is the third time now this season. He did that in Brazil, he did that in Canada, Silverstone, and now here as well. But still, that enthusiasm was only short-lived, as again, on the camel straight, which usually should be our strength. Look at that. The Leighton-House, aka March, is just easily gaining on me. I squeeze him there, compromise my run through Lecombe. And then, yeah, the car is horrible to drive at this point. It's not good in the straight line, it's not good in corners. And the steering is bent as well. So that is Gugelmin passed and running away from me. Now at this point I was honestly just praying for it to end, and maybe even end a lap earlier. And my prayers were answered, as we're getting a blue flag there, which means the leaders are coming through and about to take a lap away from me, which is a lap less I have to spend in the agony of driving a car that is not in its best shape anymore. Nigel Mansell goes through, and then that is the final corner for me. We finish in P18, one lap down, but somehow still ahead of Roberto Moreno. And I couldn't be asked to do another lap in this car, so I pull over into the old pit lane, take a traffic cone with me, and I just stop the car there, because I'm not doing another 7 kilometers in this car. Let's look at point scorers though. As this race was won by Nigel Mansell ahead of his championship rival Senna in P2, Patrese P3. LAZ, Prost and Piquet complete the top 6. Well, that means the Drivers' Championship as exciting as ever. Mansell now with a 4-point lead again over Senna. Patrese already has quite the gap to those ahead, so he is pretty much out of it. The Cesaris miraculously still in 4th. We drop down to 8th, equal on points with Alesi, but thanks to a P2 finish in Hockenheim, we're still ahead of him. And in the Constructors' Championship, well, Williams are slowly running away with it, 20 points ahead of McLaren due to the bad luck of Gerhard Berger mostly, because he has retired in this race again. Ferrari up to 3rd, Jordan still in 4th, and we in Minardi are still in 6th. And that has been it for round 7 of our 1991 Formula 1 season. The next race will happen in 2 weeks and will be the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Martini's home race, Minardi's home race, and yet another track that should suit our car. Can we do better there? Well, subscribe to not miss that and find out next time out. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and I hope to see you all the next time. Until then, goodbye.